What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well, having a good Thursday morning. And we've got a bit of a different show, a bit of an interesting show actually this morning. We're going to be talking about the latest Manchester United transfer news. We're going to be talking about Andre Onana. Today's the day that they're saying is the key day, the crucial day, according to Fabrizio Romano, to get this deal done, particularly when it comes to agreeing the fee, agreeing the price for the Inter Milan goalkeeper. So Thursday, eh? Thursday, as KG always says, Thursday. Thursday is the key day. So we're going to be talking about that. Anthony Elanga, Kobbie Mainoo, breakthrough season possibly, because I do want to also do a bit of a hybrid show today. This is why I'm saying it's going to be a fun show, because in addition to doing obviously all the transfer news and the latest updates when it comes to transfers, we did have a pre-season friendly yesterday. We defeated Leeds 2-0 in Oslo in Norway. So I do want to have a bit of a reaction to that too. So in addition to talking about transfers, we're going to be talking about some of the fallout from yesterday's game. Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Mount making his unofficial Manchester United debut in the friendly. And also Erik ten Hag has actually spoken to the media, really for the first time since the end of the season too. So I want to discuss what he said about a variety of topics, captains, new signings, players, outgoings, etc. So again, very exciting stuff. And we've also got some clips. We've got, you would have seen it on the channel, but if you haven't, you can see it here. And then later on, you can watch it in its full form. You've got Flex and KG chatting with the likes of Erik ten Hag, Steve McLaren, Ahmad, Darren Fletcher, and others on the way to the ground yesterday. We've got footage of that. We've also got, obviously, the interview with Noam Emeran after he scored his goal and registered his assist yesterday in the 2-0 win over Leeds. Excellent interview as well. And also, we're going to get the reactions of Flex and KG pitch side after the match yesterday too. So there's plenty to get into this morning. So be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner as well. Let's see what people are saying. You've got Tank in the chat saying morning. Suleiman saying morning, Owen and UV family. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing very, very well. Let's get straight into, and Tabaslaw says Carew settings. Now this is a little hint of what's to come, because you do see it later on in the clip that we have. Yes, John Carew makes an off-screen cameo. You don't actually see him, but you see Flex and KG see John Carew and their reaction to John Carew as well. So it's awesome. And let me know where you're watching from as well. I can see, here we go here. Moise is watching from Texas. Andrew's watching from India as well. So yes, let me know where you're watching from. A staple of the single shows, certainly as well. I used to always say that. Let me know where you're watching from. And also, I've got new sounds this morning as well. How am I going to weave this one in? The problem is when you're talking memes, you have to sort of weave them in. So you could say that Kobbie Mainoo yesterday played like he was saying, "Acknowledge me." Yeah. We'll weave those in to the show as it goes on. And we'll just put a yeah in, of course. Yeah! Come on. Right, let's talk about Andre Onana, because today, according to Fabrizio Romano, it's the crucial day today. He tweeted late last night. He understands that Thursday is the crucial day to make Andre Onana deal happen. Manchester United and Inter will speak today. They're going to have conversations once again today. Talks have really been ongoing, it must be said, since they all of that information came out last week saying that United were really, really close to signing Andre Onana. Now, he continues by saying optimism remains after negotiations in the last few hours, after some tense moments. And I think the tense moments that he's referring to is there have been a few murmurings, grumblings, reports over the last couple of days to maybe suggest that despite it being really, really close, they still haven't agreed a fee. And quite a few people, myself included, have said, why can't they agree this fee? I mean, at the end of last week, they said it was really close, and they were saying it was a difference of 5 million euros, so 2 and a bit million quid. It really wasn't that much in it. So why is it still taking so long? And some reports had kind of picked up on that, saying despite everything being agreed on the player side and optimism and a desire from all parties to get it done and involved, still it hadn't been done, and there was maybe a little bit of concern about that, but there is still optimism after what Romano describes as some tense moments. He's described this next 24 hours to be very important for this deal, as expected last week. He had said, didn't he, that it was going to be Wednesday/Thursday. Wednesday came and went. really without too much fanfare, probably because Manchester United were playing in that pre-season friendly against Leeds. So today's the day that they're saying. Today's the day that the expectation, the hope is that the deal will get done. And once, as we've said before, once a fee is agreed in this, it will be here we go, because everything else is ready to go. The personal terms have been thrashed out. Everything else is ready. It's just a case of agreeing the fee. Now, we do have some more information here because Gianluca Di Marzio also said late last night too, the next 24 hours risk being decisive for the future of Andre Onana. If an offer from Manchester United does not arrive, Inter are ready to continue with the goalkeeper. This was also something that was kind of echoed by the Daily Mail also, saying that Manchester United still haven't agreed a fee with Inter for Andre Onana. Inter are holding out for £51 million, and United insist they will go over 43 million for the goalkeeper, but Manchester United have not ruled out keeping Dean Henderson as number one goalkeeper if they cannot reach a compromise with Inter for Andre Onana. This was something that Erik ten Hag was actually asked in his sort of interviews yesterday after the game. He was asked on whether Dean Henderson is a real option for number one if Manchester United's pursuit of Andre Onana fails, and he said, quote, "Yes, of course, I followed him through the whole season." So there were these kind of, again, rumblings, grumblings maybe, that Onana could stay at Inter. Onana could stay at Inter and Dean Henderson could stay at Manchester United. And to be honest, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit at that because I looked at it the same way as when we walked away from the Mason Mount deal and we were suddenly going after Moises Caicedo. Inter going, oh, we can keep Andre Onana, and United going, yeah, we can just play Dean Henderson in goal. Dean Henderson wasn't involved in the squad yesterday. Why? Because he's been kept separate, because the expectation is he's going to go to Nottingham Forest. I'm still very, 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 very confident that Andre Onana is going to be a Manchester United player. It's too close. Granted, there's still a little bit to go in terms of prices or anything like that, but this is just that little bit of when, you know, two clubs aren't getting exactly what they want, so they start putting those things out there. We could walk away. We've got other targets we could go to. Maybe we go to other targets. Maybe we keep the goalkeeper. Maybe we'll keep the goalkeeper. Maybe we'll do just that. But also at the same time, I've seen that Romano's tweeted this morning that Handanovic has left Inter Milan too. So a bit like us, they're recruiting two goalkeepers. They're actively trying to get their two new keepers. One of them's Jan Sommer. Inter Milan, they're going to let Andre Onana go. They need to, from a financial point of view, and they've already started their due diligence, their work on getting a new goalkeeper. We've put all of our eggs into the Andre Onana basket as well. So, again, I don't think there's too much cause for concern or anything like that. My hope is, if they're saying today's the key day, that would maybe suggest that, are we going to get a here we go today? Is that what we're looking at? Because if the deal is to be done today, then I guess be on red alert, because it could happen at any point today. Or if we get to really late on in the day and nothing has happened, maybe that's then time to be concerned, because, you know, the silence sometimes can be pretty deafening. And we've seen that for instances like David De Gea. If you want to keep it to a goalkeeping example, David De Gea, the expectation was that he was staying, and then it just went quiet. And when it stayed quiet, and then people, myself included, start to say, I mean, if it was done, surely it would have been done ages ago. So what's happened? And eventually, of course, he left. So maybe at the end of today, if we still haven't heard anything, maybe that's the time to be concerned. But I think ultimately, United and Inter Milan will meet in the middle. As Romano says, everyone's optimistic. I'm not concerned. I would ask you in the chat, are you concerned? Are you worried at all that this deal could fall through? Are you frustrated? I mean, there's certainly, I think, an element of frustration with it, because like with everything with United, it feels like it is done in slow motion. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So it's slow and laborious, and it's just... But ultimately, I'm still very confident that Andre Onana is going to be in the squad for pre-season. I mean, I asked after or during the game, was it yesterday morning? It all bleeds into one. That would Andre Onana be in the team or in the squad to face Leon in Edinburgh, and I was saying I think he might. He's not going to. he's definitely not going to. A lot of the players that come back this week aren't even going to be in that squad as well. Ten Hag said after the game yesterday that those international players, they come back on Saturday, but they're not going to play on Wednesday. He wants them to have a full week of training because they played so many games last season, and he wants to build up their fitness. So you're going to see more of really the squad you saw yesterday, which we're going to talk about in just a bit. So that's kind of the latest when it comes to Andre Onana as well. As I mentioned, I think that whilst there's been some grumblings of some worry, some concern, by all accounts, today's the day. So I'm not too worried yet, but you never know. Let's see what some of the guys are saying in the chat here. See what some of our members are saying. Al Max says, I don't care about Onana. What's Magic Mike instead? Well, Tabislaw, big up Tabislaw, says we've got Murto and Arnold. Of course, I'm worried. All Elite says it's concerning that it's dragging this long. Well, I think yes and no, because as I mentioned, when did all of that news come out that it was basically all near enough done? That was Friday, or was it Thursday? About a week today. And I agree with you in the sense of, you go, well, why is that taking so long this week? But I still think there's a general feeling again that it will get done. Again, Inter Milan, not only do they still owe us money for Lukaku, but I think they've just put in a second bid, haven't they, for Romelu Lukaku, which is something like, I think it's 30 million euros or something like that. Or is it more than that? I'm not sure. But the point is, they've just put another bid in for Romelu Lukaku, and they really want to get him. And how crazy football finance works is we'd be giving them money to go buy a player they still owe us money for, which is kind of crazy, isn't it? So they need the money, they need the cash, and United know that too. It's a case of both sides knowing what position the other one is in. We know they need the money, so we're going, well, we're not going to overpay, or what we feel is overpaying. You got this guy for a free last year. This is pure profit anyway. We feel that this is a reasonable number. We've gone up a couple of times. They'll go up a little bit more today. Whether or not they'll get to the 51 million that Inter are looking for, maybe they drop a little bit below, and then there's add-ons, a bit like with Mason Mounts, and they're big, difficult to achieve add-ons. Maybe that's what they'll do. But at the same time, Inter Milan, they look at us and say, we know you need a goalkeeper. We know that David De Gea's just left, and we know that Dean Henderson, as much as you can say in the media, oh yeah, he could be our number one, maybe, we know that he's not going to be your number one. We know you want Andre Onana. So it's leveraging, isn't it? It's posturing. As Lil Yo-Yo says, it's Man United doing Man United things. But ultimately, again, I'm still fairly confident it'll get over the line. And as mentioned, I think that, well, they're saying the here we go, I guess, kind of has to come today. If it doesn't, then I don't know. We've got a super chat here. Super chat from Amanor. It says, Owen, where is DJ? Please bring on the show. Well, right now, I'm not sure where DJ is to this very second. He's not here in my house with me. I would assume he's at home. But yeah, across the summer, we're going to probably have some co-hosts as the guys are on tour. So I'm sure DJ will be involved in that too. But right now, I mean, I don't know. I don't have the DJ bat phone, unfortunately. You know, I've got the Mars. Well, I could have the Marcel phone, but I'm not sure I would get through. I have a row of them. A row of red phones, like in the Batman series, and I just pick them up. And that's how we do full view. We just look, one in? Yeah. Do you want in? Yeah, that's what we do. Obviously.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah. I lied!
Someone told me the other day, yesterday, in the match view, it was really odd, and I pressed the sound, and then someone, you're using the sound a bit too much, mate. I said, using them a bit too much. You know, don't tempt me, okay? I can keep doing this all day. Some would say... You can do it! What did, when Erik ten Hag was saying about David De Gea, we want to keep him, we want to stay, he's a complete goalkeeper. Now, he's just at a press conference and he said...
I forgot to tell you. Yeah. I lied!
So yes, that's the latest when it comes to Andre Onana. Let's get some reaction yesterday, because as I mentioned, we're going to have a bit of a hybrid show this morning, so be sure to smash a like on the like button, be sure to subscribe. I do want to show you this clip because this is just a taster. This is just a tease. This is just a tease of what's to come over the next several weeks and months as we go into preseason. You know us. You know us here at UV. When we're in pre-season, when we're on tour, that's our speciality. That's what we do best. And we got a little tease of that yesterday because Flex and KG just so happened to be where to see the players as they were on their way to the ground for the pre-season game. So they shook some hands. They said hello. Here's what happened in Oslo.
Come on. I'm like Champions League, Moran.
Let's go.
Come on. Shoulder. Darren. Let's get on. Hey, Mason.
We're ready for anything.
Oi, come on.
Yes, Tomo.
Come on. Hey, Kobbie. Big game.
Kobbie, what's he say? He's in Travis's today,
I'm man. Good to see you, bro. Welcome back. Man like Jaden, come on.
Yes, Jaden.
Big season.
Jaden don't carry no bags, though.
What, Wendy? What's going on? Come on.
Yes, I we say
We're back again. Back again, you right? Back again, all in back. Come on, Kobbie.
Yes, Kobbie.
Good to see you again, bro. What's going on? Good?
Yeah.
Bloody Cole fam. Legend. We're going to be in the casino here. Are we gambling? Casino. Eric. Good to see you. Good to see you again.
Let's go, Eric.
Come on. My manager, you know.
Take care.
That's my manager right there.
Manager ready for preseason.
Whoa. Come on.
Let's go, Eric.
Eric, don't get no bigger than that, fam.
No bigger than that.
That's it.
Now to get to stadium, get to accreditation, so we can actually get in the game. Yeah.
KG, man. Only KG could be standing in the pouring rain and see Andy Cole and we go to the casino. We're gambling. Oh, man.
Fucking reckless! That's fucking reckless! You fucker!
Oh, KG, he's a national treasure. He really is. He is just truly a national treasure. How can you not love KG the comedian? What we do? Colin, we gambling. Sorry. But shaking hands with Erik ten Hag. Look at that. Eric, as they said, doesn't get bigger than that. It really doesn't. And that, as I mentioned, that's just a teaser, just a taste of what's to come when we're in tour in the United States. Obviously, so many different locations, so many different pre-season friendlies. So there's going to be full coverage here at United View. Not only the vlogs are coming back, but the fan views, the match views. I'm still working on what the virtual match view set is called. We were asking that yesterday. You can let us know in the live chat or in the comment section below if you're watching after the fact, because I'm still trying to work on what that name would be. Some people said preview. I was like, some were saying Crackhead Street. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on what that could be. So yes, let's talk about some more transfers. Let's talk about Anthony Elanga, because we kind of spoke about this yesterday, didn't we, guys? But it looks like he's heading to Everton. Fabrizio Romano has said that negotiations are taking place between Everton and Manchester United to sign Anthony Elanga. Talks on. This actually came from The Bobble, which is an Everton sort of insider transfer sort of news account. And but he's continued, Romano, by saying there are many clubs interested in him, but Everton are now the favourites to sign the Swedish international. This was expanded upon by Romano in a follow-up tweet saying Everton will hold direct talks with Manchester United for Anthony Elanga. New round of negotiations will take place soon after showing initial interest. There are several clubs keen on signing Elanga since January. There was that report, wasn't there, in January that said that was something like 10, maybe even more, 15 clubs, 10, 15, 20 clubs were interested in signing Elanga. And I spoke yesterday about this, and some people said, Owen, you're crazy. Owen, you're crazy. When I said, Anthony Elanga, how much do you charge Everton? £25 million, please. Now you can say, oh, reckless or whatever. £25 million, that's my starting point. And then we'll work our way down. Now, you might say, Owen, Elanga ain't worth 25 million. You're crazy. No way. Well, I counter that and say Taif Chong has just gone from Birmingham to Luton. £4 million, nearly 5. We get £1 million from it, okay? And that's a player that's really done nothing. That's a former United player. But the point being is, a Championship player going to a Premier League side is £5 million. And I'm saying that Anthony Elanga is at least 4 or 5 times better than that. He is, because he's played in... Well, I know Chong's actually played in the Champions League game, the ultimate one. That one against PSG. But the point being is he scored in the Champions League. He's a Swedish international as well. He's had more games in the Premier League than Chong ever did. The point being is, he's come through the academy too. Charge. You know, come on, charge, put money up, and then work your way down. We can't be getting ripped off all the time when it comes to selling these players. We've got to make cash. We've got to make money. We're talking about Andre Onana this morning. I've seen some people in the chat saying, "Oh, are you not concerned? There's no striker talk." I'm very concerned. There's not a lot of striker talk. I saw Romano said yesterday that the top of the list, the top priority when it came to a striker this summer was Rasmus Højlund. I saw that, but at the same time, I'm doing my maths here. I've got my calculator and my abacus, you know, modern and old technology. Imagine trying to work something out on that abacus. Very difficult. That's that thing where you move it across like that. And I'm saying 55 million for Mason Mount, around sort of 40 to 50 for Andre Onana. It's coming in at close to 100 million. And it's been reported that our budget this summer is 120 million net. So if we're going to sign Rasmus Højlund for 40 to 50 million, we're going to have to start shifting some players. And also, we're going to have to start shifting some players for some big amounts of money. The whole 4 million here, 5 million there, that ain't going to cut. We got to get, you know, Anthony Elanga. Start at 25, accept 20, 15 plus add-ons. Something like that. Work your way down. Do what everyone else is doing to us. Don't just have one offer comes in. Oh, yeah, we're accept because we're desperate. 5 million. Thanks, Anthony. You can go to Everton. No. You know, he's got a lot of time left on his contract as well. I think it's like 3 years. So start high and work your way down. That's what we need to do. Multiple bids. If you really want him, you'll keep going after him. And if Everton don't want to pay it, someone will. Because Romano said there's lots of clubs interested in him, particularly if it's Premier League clubs. I understand if it's European clubs. A lot of clubs across Europe don't have a lot of money like we do in the Premier League because the broadcast fees are so high. Because don't play, I mean, unless they're a club like Luton that's just come into the Premier League. But don't play that Premier League clubs don't have money, because they do. A lot of Premier League clubs have cash because, again, of the broadcast revenues, unless they're a bit like us, bound by FFP. But that's not our problem. You figure it out. So start high, work your way down. Now, it's actually funny because as I've been talking, I did just see something pop up on my Twitter feed here. Now, according to the Mirror this morning, and it's funny because I'm talking about Anthony Elanga, David McDonnell from the Mirror says Anthony Elanga would cost Everton around 8 to 10 million.
Bullshit.
If we sell Elanga for 8 million, I'm sorry, 8.
What?
8.
What?
10.
What?
That better not happen. I mean, it's the Mirror. It's the Mirror, so raise that a bit. But again, start up high. This guy, again, he's an international footballer for Sweden. He scored goal in the Champions League. He's played Premier League football. I know he's way down the pecking order, but 8 million.
What?
Oh, no. Again, start 25, get down to 15 or something like that. But what kind of negotiation is that? And again, if they come in, Everton, and they went, our first offer is 8 million, I'd say get out. Why are you wasting my time? Like they do on FIFA, when Flex and KG put that ridiculously high number, and the manager goes, and then gets up and walks away. Do that. $8 million. The disrespect. He's young as well. He's got time left on his contract. Come on. Again, that's just reporting. But still, 8 million. No. Not having that at all. In fact, so much so, I'm going to move on from this topic. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Someone would label it a disgrace and a cheat. Let's see what the Super Chat's saying here. George says, good to see KG and Flex up close to the players. As I mentioned, just a tease of what's to come. I appreciate the contribution. And Mike says, United fans love to get worried for no reason. Arsenal signed two players 2 weeks ago and still haven't confirmed officially. Caicedo, Gvardiol stories. It's not just United. Other clubs are slow as well. Well, you do make a good point about Arsenal because I think it was on Sky Sports News. Was it yesterday? I believe it might have been yesterday. Saying that West Ham were getting frustrated with the delays to the Arsenal deal for Declan Rice. And everyone knows that's going to happen. And I think there is a degree of impatience involved. As I said, I'm not too concerned about Andre Onana or anything like that. And as I've said also, even when I thought we were being slow a couple of weeks ago prior to signing Mason Mount, it's not as if we're not going to sign players, because we are. Sometimes, though, it's just the speed in which United do things is historically slow. It's not too bad when you're the only club in the race. When you're the only club in the race, like we were really for Mason Mount and Andre Onana, United know that. It's a case when it's more of a bidding war and we're so slow that it's like, ugh, we could be doing things quicker, but there you go. Anyway, I want to get to another clip. This time, an interview. Yes, Flex and KG spoke to, I guess, the man of the hour after the game yesterday, because Noam Emeran got a goal and an assist in the second half of the game as the Manchester United Academy really shone in that 2-0 victory over Leeds. And Flex and KG spoke with him after the game. Here's what he had to say.
How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Well done,
good.
smashed it.
Look at the smile. Look at the smile.
How do you feel?
Very good. Very good. Proud moment. So, yeah, I'm happy.
We love the celebration as well. The celebration is, you took a little bow. What's that about?
I just think about it like it was my first goal in front of the fan. Just wanted to say hi to the public and thanks to them.
When did you know that you was going to be getting minutes? When Eric told you? When did you find out?
I find out today.
Just today?
Yeah, like we didn't know the lineup before this morning, so I was happy to get some minutes and play in front of the stadium like this.
Did you envisage scoring? So when you're going to start, you're thinking, right, I'm going to cut in from the left, I'm going to score, I'm going to get an assist. Did you envisage doing that?
I didn't think about the game like that. I was just like excited to get some minutes to play and just like take the experience to play for United and wear the shirt today. So I was happy.
You couldn't write any better. Goal and assist. Again, did you mean that little cross? Did you see one?
I would say I mean it.
I don't know, you kind of looked, well, should I? Nah, you meant it. What's it been like training with the first team, man? Like Rafael Varane in there, Jadon Sancho's in there. There's a lot of experienced players in there. Lisandro Martinez. How have they been with you? How's it been to play with them?
Very good. Like they welcome us very well. Like and train with them. It's like taking experience every day. Learn from them as well because they are great players. And so every day we can only learn from them. So
did you get past any in training? Who did you get past?
Huh? No.
What, Varane? Varane said no.
No chance. Difficult to pass them.
Kid, man. Listen, well, we wish you all the best with your United career. Amazing today. Great celebration and assist. We can't ask so much more. You smashed it.
No, thank you very well. Thank you.
Big up to Flex and KG speaking with Emeran after the game yesterday. I mean, it was really fascinating that second half, wasn't it? Because, as I said in my fan view, I was concerned because the second half, Leeds brought on a few more experienced players. They brought on Ailing, they brought on Bamford as well, and I was a bit concerned of, we didn't really take some chances in the first half. Are Leeds going to win this one? Then is it going to be a bit of doom and gloom to start pre-season? Not that if you're losing pre-season it really counts for too much, because it's more about, again, legs, it's about fitness and all of the above. But I was a bit worried, and the kids, they were on it. They were quick, they were energetic, they were tenacious. And the front three actually looked way more dangerous than the front three of the first half did. So, and particularly Emeran, I thought was excellent. Obviously, gets his goal and assist, and it's a great moment for him because that's what's great sometimes about those pre-season games is because sometimes Emeran might never play a first-team game for United. Never. He probably. I mean, the chances are that he won't. I hope he does, and I hope any academy player can work their way into the Manchester United first team. But chances are, I mean, youth football is just cutthroat and brutal. So just to have that moment of scoring in a pre-season friendly is massive. And again, you never know what can happen in football. It's all about timing. So big up to him. Another player coming through the academy that really took a lot of plaudits coming out of the game yesterday was Kobbie Mainoo, who started with the senior players in the first half. Again, not a ton of senior players were actually there, because obviously the majority of them are internationals. They're coming back on Saturday. But Kobbie Mainoo started. He was the lone six in a midfield three of himself, Mason Mount, and also Hannibal, who I thought impressed too. And lots of people waxing lyrical about Kobbie Mainoo, and the suggestion has been, could it be a breakthrough season for the young United midfielder? Well, he posted on Instagram yesterday saying, good to be back. And Bruno Fernandes was very, very high in his praise for him, saying, what a performance, kid. And I think it was a sentiment that was certainly echoed by several people on social media. Let me know your thoughts about Kobbie Mainoo in the live chat. We'll get some of your comments up. I thought it was great. It was fantastic. And again, it's funny because you do get those people that you praise someone in pre-season. So I praised Hannibal yesterday. I said I thought Hannibal was really good. I thought he had a good first half. But you're the problem, Owen. Don't you understand? Hannibal's not good enough. Saying he's good enough. Get rid of him. They'll never be good enough for Manchester United. I never said he would. I never said he was going to be good enough. I just said from the 45 minutes that I watched yesterday, Hannibal played well. Who hurt you? I mean, please. And it's the same for Kobbie Mainoo. He played well yesterday. And is he going to play every game for United this season? No. Is he going to even play any games for Man United this season? I hope he'll play some minutes. Maybe the next stage in his development this year is to play a few more Carabao Cup games. Yesterday, he started the one, was it against Charlton at Old Trafford? I think it was something like that. And a couple of times he was in the first team squad, on the bench, not coming on, of course, just to be part of that atmosphere, be part of that preparation process. You never know, it might come out soon that United have decided to send him out on loan this season because they don't want him to be sitting on the bench because they feel his development's that important. Or he could have a Alejandro Garnacho style season where in the early stages, you think he's just going to be a bit part player, and then towards the end of the season, suddenly he's a very important first-team player, a bit like Garnacho. So you never know what can happen with him. One thing's for certain is the potential is there, isn't it? You can clearly see, just from last season to now, physically, he's improved. He's filled out a little bit. His touches, I thought, were good. There was a moment in that first half. He's surrounded by three players, wins the foul. He was a lone six, so he was the deepest midfielder most of the time, and he was comfortable on the ball. Not a perfect performance. And again, that's why he can't get too carried away. Not a perfect performance. There was one point where he receives the ball. He actually did a heavy touch, and Leeds were on the counter-attack. And it was only because I think Hannibal was the one that recovered and did a really good sliding tackle that Leeds didn't score a goal from the counter-attack. So it's not a perfect performance. It's pre-season. But there's certainly potential there, and you can clearly see that there's something there with him, and he does have that kind of presence, that aura, and it's going to be interesting to see how that develops throughout the pre-season once those more senior players come back, because I think he's going to go on the tour. I think there's no doubt that he'll be part of that squad to go on the tour, and he might be part of, say, the second half team, because Ten Hag likes to have two separate 11s for 45 minutes, and the stronger 11, then the second 45 minutes is the more players on the periphery, and Kobbie Mainoo most likely will be in that. But if he plays well and works his way into, again, not first team plans, because he won't be, but you never know. And again, I think that he impressed yesterday, and that's all you can say. And people misinterpret that as saying, you're overhyping people, you're over-gassing people. You're the problem. You're saying that we should be we shouldn't be buying people, all that kind of stuff. No, it's just saying, if you look at the game yesterday, Kobbie Mainoo played well. He played well, and it's part of the culture of Manchester United and the history to recognise when academy players are influencing games or contributing to games. And out of all of those players that played yesterday, academy players, which there were a lot of, you can very clearly see that he's right up there with the best of them. And he might be one of those small percentage of players that eventually, not this coming season, but eventually does make it as a United player. As far as will this season be his breakthrough season, I would most likely lean to no. But football's all about timing, and you never know, and it's very difficult to predict these things. So what did you think of Kobbie Mainoo as well in the chat? Let's get some of your comments up as well. Araya says Kobbie Mainoo, Hannibal and Ahmad looked good. Sachif says Hannibal played well, to be honest. Suleiman says Mainoo, Ahmad and Hannibal could be in contention for this breakthrough season. Clark says he played well in a game where most players were jogging. Kid looks good, but that match didn't show me anything other than flashes. All Elite says there's nothing wrong with being excited for our youth products. We all just want them to succeed. I think that's fair too. Craig says, don't get carried away. It was against Leeds reserves in pre-season. If he does the same in every game in pre-season, then the discussion is worth having. Christian says, I want to see more of Bennett and Fish. Well, I think Fish is going to Hibs on loan. He was there last season, and again, I think he's going back. But again, I think that all you can do is judge the performances that you see. And yesterday, he played for 45 minutes, and he played well. And granted, some people do get carried away, and some people do go way too far and say, he's got to play games this season. You go, well, I don't know. But yesterday, he played well. And I think that's a fair thing to say. And certainly his teammates and the senior people at the club, Bruno Fernandes, the captain, unofficial captain, whatever you want to call him, was praising him as well. And I think that's fair praise. Let's get some more reaction from Oslo yesterday. Flex was pitch side. Here is his first Flex's view of pre-season.
What can you say? What can you say about that? Good win. Good win. That's all you can expect, really, that early. And I think when you start off a pre-season like that with so many different situations going on in the squad, it's kind of better for different individuals. The youngsters done really well. Who would I start with? Let's start with a new signing, because when it's about pre-season, we always want new signings in early, and we want them to start in pre-season matches so we can have a look at them. And Mason Mount got his start today, number 7, full of anticipation around here, big smile on his face. Saw him at a hotel earlier. He was buzzing. You could tell he just couldn't wait to get going, as he's been saying since he signed. And how did he play? Well, he played in a sort of a deeper role. Hannibal Mejbri was in the 10, and he played in central midfield with Kobbie Mainoo, who I thought was excellent. I'll get onto him in just a minute. But Mason Mount, some nice little touches. I think there was signs of what we're going to get from him. We're definitely going to get runs from deep. We're going to be able to get him maybe dropping off deep as well, which was nice to see him putting in passes for Ahmad and doing what he needs to do there. Had a couple of shots, had a couple of opportunities to do even better, but didn't quite make it happen. He nicked the ball off the lead centre back, went for the dink. Eric Cantona-esque, didn't quite get it, but he looked kind of fluent, and he looked confident. Looked like he wanted to make things happen. Also, he was on all of the set pieces. Now, obviously, there's noticeable absentees in Bruno, who will probably take a lot of set pieces. Never know Luke Shaw as well with some of the crosses from different sides of the corner flag. But Mason Mount was on it all today, so he could have got himself a couple of goals, to be fair to him. But a bright debut. You can't ask for miracles. He's learning from his new teammates. He just wants to get going. And I saw some nice little touches from him as a number 8, and you can tell when he's going to be in that position, like with Bruno. Obviously, Hannibal did quite well today, but when Bruno comes in, you can see what Ten Hag wants to do. But what will be interesting is when Bruno does come into the team, probably for the Scotland game, or the game in Edinburgh, should I say, and more so, I think that's still going to be quite a young team in Scotland, but definitely against Arsenal, New York, to see how, as pre-season develops, how Ten Hag what team he keeps starting, what relationships he's looking like he wants to build. Because essentially you're looking at probably Casemiro playing deeper, and then you've got Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes ahead of that and out of possession. Okay, maybe they all get back, or maybe Bruno goes a little bit deeper, leaves Mason Mount as the furthest forward. We'll have to wait and see, but that's going to be interesting. Kobbie Mainoo, man, obviously won his Young Player of the Year award last year. And would have been nice to see him get some more first team minutes last year. Didn't quite happen. But it was really good to see him today. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was strong in the tackle, good awareness, could evade tackles as well, kept possession well, some forward passes, showed some good strength to make sure he didn't lose the ball. Just a good pitch awareness, just a good way of sort of saying to himself, you know what? This is my chance to impress. This is my chance to show the manager the faith that he's got in me. You know, Zidane Iqbal's left, Charlie Savage was on the bench, and the manager's gone with me in what is today the first team. And I thought he was brilliant. I really do think he was really good, and I think there's a bright future. And what we want for him this year is to have that Garnacho type season. We want him to, obviously it's more difficult in central midfield, but we want him to play some more games, maybe some of the cup games, Carabao Cup games, some of the Premier League games, maybe at home, come on for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, see the game out. It's going to be a long season. You know that Erik ten Hag does not dish out appearances just because you're young and you're up and coming prospect. You know, Kobbie Mainoo found that out last year. you know, and he was highly tipped then. But to see him straight off the bat in
Big up Flex there, talking pitch side in Oslo for the first pre-season friendly, the 2-0 victory over Leeds. I've also just seen, we've got nearly 1,800 people watching, less than 250 likes. Now again, I don't want to be that one that puts pressure on or whatever, because I got told off last time. There was like, hey, don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. All I'm telling you is to believe you can press the like button. So if you haven't already, click the like button. You know what it's like with these solo streams. We like to try and get to 500 so we can say when we do the 2, 3, 4, 5 people streams that on the solo streams, we always get 500. That's our level. That's our baseline. We never drop beneath it. And yes, so if you haven't already, click that like button. As the soundboard says,
You can do it!
I believe in you. We can get to 500.
You can do it!
There you go. Let's talk about Mason Mount, because as Flex just touched on there, his unofficial debut for Manchester United, first time we've seen him play in a red shirt. Erik ten Hag was asked about Mount after the game, and he said, quote, I think you've already seen today what he can bring. He is ball secure, has good solutions on the ball, is dynamic, and is good at defending. He is a complete midfielder. He also said, he has some areas he has to work on, but in general, he is a very good player who suits Manchester United and can help us achieve our goals. Now, again, it's very difficult to judge Mason Mount based off 45 minutes of football. But I do agree with what Flex was saying there, where he was saying that actually, when Mason Mount's with Casemiro, Bruno in front of him, I think that's going to be a real solid midfield. And I did see yesterday still some of the Mason Mount doubters and the Mason Mount haters. He's average. I saw a lot of Chelsea fans still. It's unbelievable for a group of fans that they don't care. They were happy he's gone. We didn't even want him anyway. He was rubbish. What, you watching the game on MUTV yesterday? Still talking about him. It's crazy. It's wild. But he had a couple of good moments. I think he tapered off towards the end of the first half. But I agree with what Ten Hag is saying there about him, whereas in actuality, he showed glimpses of what he's going to be all about. Obviously, getting around the pitch, he was winning the ball all over the pitch, high up the pitch. I was quite impressed in the first half, actually, was how high up the pitch United were winning the ball yesterday. It must be said, Leeds playing out from the back was atrocious. Their goalkeeper in the first half and the second half were not good, and their playing out from the back really did show that. But Mount won the ball high up the pitch. He also was in deeper positions, trying to find that sort of defence-splitting pass. The thing that I think impressed me the most was there was a moment where he received the ball kind of on the half turn in the middle of the pitch and just put the ball out. I think it was to Ahmad on the right-hand side, and we nearly scored a goal because of it. It was a brilliant pass, just went past their left back, sort of inside the left back, and was excellent. And again, that's kind of a glimpse of when he's playing with better players or more established players. Again, you probably won't get that kind of space maybe in a Premier League game, but that's why I've always said with Mason Mount, was he the person you thought of as, man, this should be United's first signing of the summer? Of course not. I mean, the priority has always been striker, goalkeeper, midfielder. Mason Mount, or that midfield player, was a third priority for me. We're working on the second priority right now, goalkeeper. We've got to get that striker. First half was evidence of that yesterday. Oh my goodness me, we need a striker so badly. We saw it last season, we saw it yesterday. We need a striker. That's what we need. But to say that Mason Mount won't be good or doesn't offer anything, that just isn't true. And that just isn't factually accurate, I think, again, with the players surrounding him, whether it is Casemiro or Eriksen at times, Bruno Fernandes, he just gives us more options. And again, he's a technically proficient player. He's press resistant. He gets around the pitch as well. He's got that kind of, that sort of dirty side to him as well, that grit. And I thought he did all right yesterday. We'll have to wait and see how he plays out for the remainder of the tour and see how he progresses through there once he's playing with those better players. Again, it's very difficult to judge him based off 45 minutes, so you can't get too carried away. But as far as debut goes, he did okay. How would you rate him? Let me know your thoughts in the live chat as well about that. Mind Over Matter says, if he succeeds here, they're in the mud. Joe Blackman says, Mount will be good, but the pressure is on with that number 7 shirt. Absolutely. No, there's no doubt about that. It's even more pressure, isn't it? And that's why I was kind of a bit like, I don't know if that was the right call, because anytime he drops a bad performance, and look, he will, because players do, or they don't have the best performance, they'll begin, is that your number 7? Oh, I don't know, is that your number 7? Just Kevin says, other teams fans take our preseason games more seriously than us. We're truly massive. Chris C says, what is the subscriber numbers on? It's blank the top right-hand corner. It's because it's broken. It's broken. We as a channel not broken, but that's broken. We're currently at over 144,000. Yes, on the Matchview Studios, the subscriber one is there. We just need to fix this one because we have to do it via somewhere else because it's broken. But yes, over 144,000. So appreciate all of the support there. And in just, what was that? We're not even 2 years old at this point. We're just over 2 years old now. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. We're still a baby. National Goes Live rates Mount as a 6 yesterday. Shepo says a 7. Sashiv says 7 as well. You can get your numbers in there as well too. So your ratings for Mason Mount. And we are currently at 360 likes, so 140 to go. If you haven't already, click the like button. I do want to get some more reaction because this one's a bit more controversial. And you know me, I love a little bit of controversy. So I want to get KG's view after the game. And you know it's going to be reckless. I mean, earlier on, he's talking to Andy Cole about gambling. And he gave his thoughts after the game yesterday. And he praised Kobbie Mainoo, but he also talked about Jadon Sancho. Is what KG had to say.
I want us to say one player that gets a special mention for me, though. Kobbie Mainoo.
Talk about him, man. I spoke about him as well. A lot of people are saying looks really strong.
Looks
man. Looks quite mature out there today. And just good ability on the ball.
Yeah, just nice. You know what I mean? And again, this is no way a Pogba comparison or nothing like that. But then just body balance. Just what I'm saying. Just in terms of body balance and when he does take the ball, the little pirouette turns and stuff. Nowhere near. I'm not saying he's nowhere near Pogba, but I'm saying it was just really nice to see a confident performance from a kid that his first game, it didn't look as good as that, you know? So now we can see, you know, he should be developing and he should be saying to himself, I've got a big chance to, you know, play a part in this Man United side. I think in this Man United side, I think for him, he should be focused on the Carabao. You know, and those games, and just little, if he does get on, you know, like 20 minutes here and there, like having his Garnacho season, this is what I'm really looking for from for Kobbie Mainoo. But then it was nice to see. It's nice to see the confidence, even some of the touches, bro, like receiving it and then the pressure, but then really strong in there. So that was really good. I've got some negatives though. I do have some negatives. So obviously you know that not like the jury's out on Jadon Sancho, but we're watching. We're watching. You
can say that.
We're watching. No, we're heavily watching, right? And then there's a thing of what you're looking for now is with a lot like some of the youngsters. I'm thinking to them like some of you lot won't get to travel to some of you lot won't get to be on the American tour. Some will. A lot of you lot might get left home. You need to be playing every time you get a moment on this pitch. I need to see something from you that says, I'm going to be in this team heavy. And now what was scary to me is the fact that obviously you played him as the false nine.
John Carew.
Oh, wow. Bloody hell.
That's John Carew.
Oh, Carew. He's bigger than me. He'll get you a goal too.
John Carew. John Carew's just pulled up just for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's insane.
100%. John. He's not looking. We'll get him in a minute. He might come. If he comes, we'll talk to him. John Carew just pulled up, just halfway through.
Bro, that's Premier League. You know what I mean? Big man, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's focus on what we're doing. Again, this is it. The little bit of the negative, right? And it's early, pre-season. It's very early, but I know that I'm probably not the only fan that's waiting to see, you know, Jadon really get into it. And what I do want to see is just a shift in his...
John, can we just get a quick word with you?
Why
For
not?
is Manchester United channel, just what you think of the game. It's not a stitch up, I promise.
Why not?
Okay, no worries.
No for us.
You was going to, that's good enough for us. That's good enough for us.
He was getting to. I like the fact that he was getting to. That was nice.
That was good. He said, I was going to, but I'm not allowed. I'm still working. Ambassador roles.
There you go.
Big John, though.
Big John Carew fan.
Bigger in real life.
Yeah, man. Get your goal or two.
Yeah.
He's probably better than Web. He's better than Web.
Not probably, 100%. John Carew was wicked.
No, now.
No. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, he still looks in shape, actually.
Yeah.
The way he's gone upstairs.
Yeah.
Just tripped.
But
yeah.
No, that's it. So back onto this. What I'm talking about is just,
You said
just
a couple of things,
intensity.
yeah.
No, just intensity. That's all I'm looking for. Again, I'm not looking for you to be like clinical, the most dangerous, but I want to see something that says to me, you see next season, we're not playing any games. You see when we saw Rashi in like pre-season, and he's like, the guy was looking like, I'm going to impress this manager. I'm going to impress this manager, whatever it takes.
But you can't. We haven't got a striker right now.
I know.
Martial's doing Martial things back home, so God knows if he's going to make. The same thing that happened against Fulham. The same what was it, calf or something?
It's
the same thing.
It's the same one. No stretcher needed,
bro. No
stretcher needed, but he just injured forever.
So that's Martial. Obviously, Red Horse is gone.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a. So Jadon Sancho's a false nine on the tour. Might be a.
I'm playing.
Big up Joe Hugo though.
I'm playing.
Go.
Big up to Joe Hugo, man.
I'm just saying, did Jadon in a false nine thing?
No way.
Who else is there?
No way. Don't take the piss.
No, I'm not saying going forward. I'm just saying for the tour and the next. Who's the striker then? I'm asking you who the striker is then.
That's a good question, mate.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
KG. I mean, he wasn't understanding the principle there of going, we don't have a striker, so who's going to play there? You can't play Jadon Sancho there. You can't. Well, no, not going forward. Who's going to play the tour? It's a good question. It's a good question, mate. I'd take John Carew. A prime John Carew in this team now. Yeah, of course I'd have that right now. Are you kidding me? John Carew. It just goes to show that that's the tease. That's the tease of what can come for a United view pre-season. As far as what he said about Jadon Sancho, then we're just going to talk a little bit about Ten Hag talking about new signings possibly coming in. Jadon Sancho yesterday, I did see a lot of criticism for him. And look, some of it is, you could say, somewhat justified in the sense that the jury's still out. Yeah, he's on a big wage, but at the same time, I blame that more on United. You know, they're the one that offered it to him. You could argue that he should take it upon himself to try and live up to that wage, but I don't think they should be giving any player, particularly a young kid from Borussia Dortmund, that kind of wage in the first place. It's ridiculous. But the jury's still out, and I'm still of the mindset of if a decent offer came in for Jadon Sancho this summer, 60 million, you'd take it. I still would take it. I don't see it working out for him at United, and I'm happy, and I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it working out. It's his third year now at the club. One more season I think he'll get. But yesterday, look, he was playing as a false nine in the first pre-season friendly. The end product wasn't really there, and he should be playing as a false nine anyway. We should have a striker in that team. I mean, even in the second half, actually having someone that just is used to playing as a recognised number 9, even if it's an academy player, Joe Hugill, just someone that knows how to, make the runs that a striker makes, hold the ball up like a striker does. You could see Jadon Sancho was incredibly uncomfortable playing as that false nine. So I'm not going to criticise him too much, but to kind of expand upon KG's point there, which I do think is a good point, people are going to be watching. There's no doubt about that. People are going to be watching Jadon Sancho, not just this season, in this pre-season period, because hopefully at some point we'll actually be playing a striker up front. It might be Rashford through pre-season, or you never know what's going to happen with Martial. The reason I don't bring him up is because I have no idea when he's going to be back. He's still got that injury from the end of last season. And we've seen Martial last season be out for months upon end when we thought, he's going to be back in a few weeks. So who's to say how many games he's going to play on this preseason? I have no idea. I think it might be Rashford a lot through the middle. Hopefully at some point it'll be Rasmus Højlund, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. We need a striker. But as far as Sancho, people are going to be watching him throughout this preseason. People are going to be watching him on tour saying, okay, are we seeing energy? Are we seeing development? Are we seeing improvement? Because as Flex says, the jury really is truly still out. And I think a lot of people have made their minds up about Jadon Sancho. And I lean more to that, saying that, as I said a couple of seconds ago, I just don't know if I can see him truly turning it around at United. I'm just not sure he's got that mentality. I'm not sure if he's got that kind of, again, that grit that is needed. And I really hope I'm wrong, but again, there's got to be a dramatic improvement. There's got to be a dramatic improvement. As far as other signings as well, as I mentioned, Erik ten Hag did speak after the game to various media sources, and he was asked if he's confident on securing new signings. He said, confident, you never know in transfers, but we're working on it. But in the meantime, we have to work on our way of playing to put progression in place. So being a bit coy about that, and some people read into that as, he doesn't think we're going to sign people. He doesn't think that we're gonna get players through the door. We will get players through the door. We will. We will sign a goalkeeper. As I mentioned, today's the day. If you are just joining us, today's the day for Andre Onana. United and Inter Milan, they're going to have more talks. And it's sort of, today's the critical day. Today's the deadline day because Inter Milan's pre-season begins today and they want it sorted and wrapped up by today. That's what they said a week ago, didn't they? A week ago today, I think it was Melissa Reddy wrote a really interesting and really good article for Sky Sports saying that Inter wanted it done by today. This was always their deadline. Romano said today's the critical day. So today is the day that we might be getting that here we go from Fabrizio Romano. And if we don't, that's the time to start getting a bit concerned and a bit worried that nothing is happening and there's no real developments on that front. So today would be the day for that. So we are going to get new signings through the door. As far as other signings, the moment that the Andre Onana deal is done in terms of a here we go, I want to start hearing more stories about Rasmus Højlund. I want to start hearing more about the developments there because last week was somewhat encouraging because there were more stories and more sort of credible outlets talking about Rasmus Højlund to United. As I mentioned yesterday, Romano did say that Højlund was the number one striker target for us. He also said that PSG had inquired about the player, but by all accounts, personal terms have been agreed since May for him. He wants the United move. He's a United fan. That's the move that he wants. And I still do have a fair amount of confidence that it will happen, mainly because there are players being linked to be going in the opposite direction. So obviously Ahmad's been linked to going back to Atalanta on loan. We know that Mason Green has also been linked to go to Atalanta on loan. So the fact that the clubs are doing business in that sense says that the dialogue's there and the deal most likely will get done. It's about finances. That's the only concern, isn't it? And it does feel like the Højlund deal is going to be dependent on, okay, which players can we get out the door? And which players can we get out the door quickly? Now, Fred did travel yesterday, but he wasn't with the squad. He wasn't named in the squad, rather, which is, I don't know if he picked up an injury. I don't know if anyone said that or anything, or is a deal closer than we thought in the first place? Is that offer from Fulham on the table? Is the offer from Saudi on the table? Because, again, he was named in the squad in terms of travelling, and then he just wasn't part of it. So I don't know what happened yesterday with that. So that will be interesting to see how that develops over the coming days. So you would say those people that we can move on quickly now, Dean Henderson, and I want 30 for him, 30 million. Fred, they're saying about 20, so we can get about 50 million there, which in itself would be enough to get Højlund plus a little bit left over of after the Onana and Mount deals. So I think there's capabilities to get that one done still somewhat quickly. As far as Højlund being on the tour, that might be a join-up settings. That might have to be a situation that they've got to... he might have to join up because I'm not sure I see Rasmus Højlund starting out on the tour. Again, that's not even in that long a period of time. But I am still confident that we'll get those signings in. As I said, my prediction was always 3, and I've risen it to 4 because I think we'll get another backup goalkeeper. But after watching yesterday's game, do we really need to get a backup goalkeeper? Because Kovar in the second half, granted, didn't have a ton to do, but as a number 2, a young number 2 that can develop possibly into a future number 1, lots of people have been saying on this very show, you in the live chat have been saying to myself, Flex, KG, whoever's been on it over and over and over again, Kovar. He had a fantastic loan spell. He won a trophy last season. Kovar, have him as your number 2. And we saw yesterday, looked comfortable with the ball at his feet, claimed some crosses, was quick off his line as well. There is something there with him. And then suddenly you go, okay, we just need 3 then. We just need midfielder. We've got that. We just need the goalkeeper. Nearly got that. And then we just need the striker. And then you've got the backup goalkeeper. And then maybe, depending on if you sell more players, that's when you can maybe try and squeeze the budget as much as you possibly can to get in an Amrabat. And then you're bringing in, sort of 4 signings that actually really do improve the team. Not perfect still got a way to go. Still need a couple more transfer windows, in my opinion. But there might be some options there in those younger players that we hadn't considered. And again, I know people will say that you're just giving the club an excuse not to spend. Well, not necessarily. We're giving the club a reason not to spend unnecessarily. Obviously, we want to bring in new players. Obviously, we want to improve the team. But the point that some people are making is, why would you get a backup goalkeeper in Suzuki from Japan? And he might be a fantastic goalkeeper, but you've already got a solution right there. Save yourself the workload, save yourself the money, and put that money into someone else. You don't have to stretch the budget a little bit further. Or as I mentioned, put the money towards Amrabat. and even more, secure up that midfield. That could be what you would do. So Kovar certainly, I think, is an option, definitely. Let's see what some of the super chats are saying before we wrap things up. Perkins is the latest member of the UV Members Club, so welcome to you. And King says, where's Donny van der Beek? Well, Donny van der Beek was not part of the travelling squad because he's still working on his injury recovery. He's part of an individual training program, so he wasn't part of the squad for yesterday's game. I suppose there's a possibility he might be involved next week. He might be involved in the squad for the game in Edinburgh against Lyon, but he's another one that's being linked with a move away from United. And again, I don't know how much money you would get for him. We didn't spend a huge amount really on him, but I'd be looking for, what are we saying for Donny van der Beek, 15? Again, 20? Try and work our way down, something like that. And again, raise cash because it's desperately needed. But there you go, guys. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned, plenty of UV content on the horizon. Today could be the day for Onana, so if it is, we'll be live. But I'm out of here for now, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Peace!